Hey, it's Ron Dichter, and welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. Really appreciate everybody that has been tuning in, the comments, the likes, and definitely the shares. Much appreciated as we try to get the word out there. I've got 50 years of life, behind me, and 4 businesses that have had pretty decent success, and I want to share not just what was good, but also what was bad, and hopefully that you can use that information to avoid some of the pitfalls that I have already gone through, or maybe learn from some of the successes that I've had. So I hope you find this valuable. Today I want to talk about a concept called reinventing yourself. And this is not obviously a new concept. It's something that many of you have probably heard before, but reinventing yourself means that you are making a shift or a change in the life that you currently live to reinvent yourself as the person that you want to be. And I want to just tell you about kind of where I'm at in my life, because I feel like right now I'm actually reinventing myself. At 50 years old, I am starting over by choice. I feel like I've done a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish in my first half, or hopefully my first half of life, and I'm ready to do things differently. And I have to kind of reinvent myself. And to be perfectly honest, this podcast is part of reinventing myself. I have always believed that I was put on this earth to do more than just make money. I feel very fortunate and very blessed in the sense that I have, an amazing wife. I have 2 just fantastic, kids that are young adults now, both in college, and I've been fortunate enough to have some really, really, amazing team members that have helped me to become, successful in business and put myself financially in a place where, things are good. And by all means, I could have just kept doing what I was doing and been, financially successful. I could have, really just carried on, but I felt always in my heart that I was meant to do something bigger. And this podcast is kind of like my coming out party, if you will, about my new life. And my wife thought I was a little crazy, frankly, in that I would throw away all of the hard work that I've built over the last 2.5 decades to do something totally different. And that's kind of what I'm in the middle of right now, which is really 3 big shifts in my life. First is I am, starting a new business at the age of 50, starting a brand new business in an industry that I don't have a ton of experience in. And I'm doing it because I'm incredibly passionate about fitness and health. And I believe that, the world and people can change and become the best versions of themselves if health and fitness and proper nutrition is top of mind. And so my company that I'm launching, called Six Pack, is all about that. And I don't want to make this podcast about that, but my point is that is the first shift that I'm making in my life, is that fitness and nutrition and health have been so instrumental in my ability to be successful. I've spent 23 days a month on the road at many times in my life. I mean, I've got multi-million, miles on airlines because of the work that I did. And if I didn't have, a very disciplined and regimented, eating habits and fitness requirements and just kind of that discipline in my life, I don't think I would be where I am today. And so, I really feel like I have to share that with people and give them the tools and the resources that I was able to use in my life to become where I am today. And so I'm reinventing myself as an entrepreneur in a business that I don't have a deep knowledge and understanding other than personally. The other big shift that I'm making, or the other big reinvention in my life that I'm making, is I want to share. I have shared already throughout this podcast secrets that I've never told anyone. And I'm tired of living in this outward facing life where I have to worry about what people think of me, what people perceive me as. I have been the CEO of a company for 2.5 decades. And people expect, their CEO to act, say, and do certain things. And while I think those are all great, I don't want to live my life based upon the rules and the boundaries set because of my role in a company. And I really believe that in order for me to achieve my version of greatness, my version of me and that I want to be, is I want to share, I want to talk, I want to inspire people. And I am reinventing myself as that. And for those of you that have ever sat and watched a movie with me, you will know that I am a big softie when it comes to happy moments in movies, or really, amazing moments in movies. And I never go to scary movies or thrillers or crimes or anything that doesn't end positively. And it can be a negative ending that ends positively. Like, I'm a sucker for that, because that feeling that you get, like at the end of the movie Rudy, when they, this underdog kid who has given up his whole life to make the Notre Dame football team, and at the end of the movie gets lifted and hoisted onto the shoulders of others. So, because he had this one moment, this one play, at the very last moment of his college career, where he went in and he sacked the quarterback. And like, I'm kidding, I actually choked up just saying it, because I get so emotional about those types of moments in movies. And I want that feeling to be something that I can convey to the world, because I feel like I have this deep passion for helping everybody become great and become the best versions of themselves. And so that experience, that feeling, that moment in a movie where you feel so strongly for the character and what they've gone through and the victory, no matter how big or small, that they have had, like, that's what I want to give the world. And so I am reinventing myself right now as an entrepreneur in an industry that I've not spent any amount of time in, and I'm reinventing myself as somebody who is going to change and inspire the world. And if you don't like what I'm saying and it's not for you, I totally get it. I'm not going to resonate with everybody out there. But the ones that get it, get it. And I'm going to be here for you. So as you start looking at your own life and you think about, what it is that you feel like you were put on this earth to do, and you feel like you have to take that chance to go out and become that best version of yourselves, like, that's reinventing yourselves. And you can't be scared. Like, I have tons of things I'm scared about. I talked about, sweating in a prior episode and some of the personal things that I've had to overcome in my life. And sometimes you just have to say, screw it. And you just have to say, I'm going to do this, no matter how scared, no matter how uncertain, and no matter how terrified I am about taking that leap. I have to do this, I want to do this, and I need to do this. And so reinventing yourself is a really important part about life. And if you think about projecting grandeur, like reinventing yourself is all a part of that. Because when you reinvent yourself as something you want to be, you have to go tell the world that this is what I'm going to be long before you ever achieve it. And so this ties right into the concept of projecting grandeur. You're not faking it. You believe so passionately about it. But there's just something, that's holding you back, that prevents you from reinventing yourself. And this is your opportunity right now. Like, I get it. It's scary. It's uncertain. There's a lot of potential things that could go wrong. But if you're watching this right now, that reinventing yourself is part of what you need to do to take that next step forward. So as you think about what you want to do, as you think about what that next step in life is for you, my advice to you is don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. We have one lifetime. It's short. It's really short. I'm 50 years old. Looking back, I feel like I've done a million things, yet it's gone by in a blink of an eye. And in my next, whatever years I have left, God hope that it's, another 50, but, whatever I have left in my life, I'm not going to live in fear, and I'm not going to live wondering what would happen if I just didn't take that step, because I don't want to be on my deathbed with all my family around me thinking to myself of all the regrets of things that I didn't do in my life. Like, I don't want that. I want to look back going, I was the guy that was not afraid to take risks, that was not afraid to put himself out there, and was not afraid to be uncomfortable. Not once, not twice, maybe even 3 times in a lifetime, as I reinvent myself. So this is your permission. go for it. Don't wait, go for it. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, share it. We want to get the word out there, and I love that everybody has stayed on and listened to me. So thanks again for your time, and have an amazing day.